This is called the flute. And guess what? The flute is a woodwind instrument. Now I know what you're thinking. This doesn't look like it's made out of wood. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this flute, and then I'm going to tell you why it is included in our woodwind family. The first thing to know about the flute is how many pieces it's in. I'm going to actually take it apart. So this top part here, this is called the head or the head joint. We can also call it the mouthpiece, and if I play it without the rest of the flute, it sounds kind of funny. I can even make funny sounds like this. That's really funny. Now the middle part of the flute is called the body. Just like we have a body, and we have a head and a body. So what do you think this bottom part is called? You were right, it's called the foot. So I put this flute together, I attach the body to the foot, and then I attach the head joint to the rest of it. And I twist it together, and that makes an entire flute. Let's see if I can fit this here. There we go. On the flute, there are keys. They have pads on them, and I push down the right keys in order to make the right sound. And I can play something that goes very fast, like this. Or I can play something that goes very slowly, like this. I can play super low. That's the lowest note I can play. I can also play really, really high. You want to hear my highest note? Woo! That's so up high. The flute can do a lot of beautiful and pretty things, and I love to play the flute. I can play my flute in an orchestra. I can play it as a solo instrument, sometimes with piano, sometimes with just a couple of other instruments, and we call that chamber music. Now, why am I able to say that the flute is a woodwind instrument? Well, let me show you something. This is also a flute. This flute is made out of, you guessed it, wood. The flute used to be made all completely and totally out of wood, and it sounds very, very different. This instrument was in use at the time of a composer named Johann Sebastian Bach. He's my favorite composer, and so that's why I learned how to play this instrument. You can see that it's very different. First of all, it has 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And different than the flute that's made out of metal, it doesn't have any keys except for one. This is called a Baroque flute, but we can also call it a one-keyed flute. So I hope you enjoyed listening to a little bit of music of the flute. This is part of the woodwind family, and it is my favorite instrument. I even have a tiny little flute necklace that I like to wear because I love playing the flute so much. What's your favorite woodwind instrument?